Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves.
I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. And I feel misunderstood cause I'm trying hard to love.
Today I wanted to talk about 5 things that I wish that I knew before I purchased over 200 houseplants. Let me tell you right now, I definitely do have some regrets, but I also don't really wish that I had done anything any differently, if that makes any sense, because I really got to know which plants I enjoyed and which I didn't. And I really think that the only way that I could have possibly done that is by owning each of these plants and seeing how they work for me. So there are definitely some plants that maybe in hindsight I wouldn't have purchased, but I only know that now because I spent the time learning about those plants and taking care of them. So yeah, while I do have regrets, I only have them because I have the knowledge that I do now. Before we do get straight into today's video though, guys, if you're not already subscribed, definitely click that button down below and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Also, if you'd like to join as a member, there are 4 extra videos that will immediately become available to you if you join as an Anthurium aficionado and above, or if you want to join at a lower level, you can definitely do that. And by doing that, you gain access to our Discord group chat. Also, guys, if you're interested in my merch, you can find that down below. And yeah, let's get straight on into today's video with all of that out of the way. I do want to talk to you a little bit about Earth Medicine Fertilizer. I was just sent this bottle from Earth Medicine and they wanted to give me this to try out on some of my houseplants. This is an organic fertilizer and it helps fill your houseplants with good bacteria that helps promote growth and healthy soil. So I wanted to give this a try so that I can let you guys know if I'm enjoying it and if I see some growth in my houseplants after using it. Today I'm just going to show you guys me putting this on some of my houseplants, and then in the future I will make an update video and let you guys know how I'm enjoying the Earth Medicine fertilizer. So now the big question is, what are my feelings about buying 200 plus houseplants so quickly? Well, there are definitely some pros and there are definitely some cons when it comes to having a ton of houseplants. And I just want to make you guys aware of that before you get into the same situation that I did, and you can figure out if you want to deal with the cons and if you want to enjoy the good things. So the first thing that I do want to talk about is actually a positive, because we always want to start out positive, and it is that with 200 houseplants surrounding you at all times, you are definitely going to experience a sense of peace. I don't know about you guys, but my dream is to basically live in a jungle. And maybe that's not your dream, but if it is, which it likely is if you're into houseplants, filling your space up with lots of houseplants does mimic that environment and does definitely give you some zen and a peace of mind. And it also gives you a sense of being in nature while being stuck inside, which so many of us are due to COVID. And yeah, I think that that's a really, really nice thing to be able to do for yourself, especially during these times, because honestly, other than going to work, I don't get out much, and that's due to our stay-at-home order, but I am able to feel like I'm in nature because I'm surrounded by so many plants. And I think that you guys will really enjoy doing that too. Not to say that you can't feel that way with only a few plants, because you totally can, and I know that when I started out, I felt that even with 2 plants, but the sense of being in nature is definitely heightened when you have things hanging and things draping over furniture. It does feel really, really nice, like you're bringing outside inside. The next thing that I want to talk about is one that is technically a negative, but unfortunately it is something that if you are going to have lots of houseplants, you will have to deal with. And I am talking about pests. Unfortunately, you are going to find pests when you have a giant houseplant collection, whether that's you bringing them in on your clothing or in with new plants. you will definitely eventually get a pest. Whether that's a fungus gnat, which is a pest, as much as it's not super harmful, it is a pest. There's also mealybugs, there are thrips, there's scale, there's aphids. There are a few different types of pests that you can get commonly on your houseplants, and while they do suck, it is a part of houseplant keeping. And I definitely have had my fair share of pests, and most of my plants have ended up just fine. If you guys know my pastazanum, it went down to a single leaf, and now it's pushing out its third leaf since its pest outbreak. And yeah, I was definitely able to get it under control, and there are so many different methods for trying to get it under control. But if I can give you guys one piece of advice, it's don't freak out when you see a pest, because they are treatable. Even if they are difficult to get rid of, they are treatable. And sometimes that means throwing that plant out to prevent further outbreak. But at the same time, if you do love that plant and you put the effort into getting rid of those pests, you will get rid of them. And your plant's not going to die immediately. When you see those pests, it's not a death sentence. You have a few weeks or months even before that pest would take over that plant and kill it. But I promise you, with some diligence, you can absolutely get rid of any pest in your home. And there is no need to really worry that much as long as you're staying on top of it. I believe in you guys. I know you can do it. Another thing I want to talk about that I definitely worried about before I got into houseplants, or before I got into having so many houseplants, is watering. So I thought that when you have so many houseplants, watering would take forever. And I'm going to tell you right now that the most amount of time you're going to spend on watering is filling up your watering can. Maybe it's because I enjoy watering, but I honestly haven't noticed much of a difference between watering 5 plants and watering 50 plants at a time. Because typically my watering can will water at least 20 of my smaller plants. And if you have a larger plant, yes, you're gonna have to go back and get another watering can full of water, but that is the most time you're going to spend on your watering. And I wouldn't let the watering part of keeping houseplants keep you from getting lots of them, because I definitely do think that for the most part, it is manageable. As long as you're watering some of your plants, you're gonna be able to water them all. Another thing that can be helpful for watering lots of houseplants is if you have a bathtub, you can fill up your bathtub and place your pots in that bathtub with a little bit of water and let them bottom water themselves so that you don't actually have to go around with a watering can to all of your plants. That is a really, really helpful tip if you don't want to go around with a watering can and you do have a bathtub. Another thing that is important to keep in mind when you have so many houseplants is that it is okay to fall out of love with your houseplants. It happens. And while I make funny videos all the time of me killing houseplants and purposely killing houseplants, I'm not actually killing my houseplants. But the point is that I don't really condone letting your plants just die. The best thing that you can do for your houseplants is, if you're not loving that plant anymore, try to find it a new home. Because when I made the videos that I made, I had so many people reaching out to me wanting to take these plants off my hands, and I know from personal experience that it can be difficult to get rid of those plants even if you don't really love them. You still feel a little bit of attachment to them, and of course you spent money on them, so it does hurt when your heart falls out of love with some of your plants because you did invest your hard-earned money into them. But yeah, definitely if you don't want to give them away, try to sell your plants to get that money back at least, and then you don't have to watch it die sadly in your house because you no longer care about it. So definitely that is my recommendation. If you are falling out of love with your houseplant, try to find it a new home, or maybe watch a YouTube video on care tips for that specific plant and see if that kind of makes you fall in love with that plant all over again. I've definitely done that, and I think that seeing other people love on the plant that I might not be loving at the moment does help to gain that love back in some capacity. The last thing that I do want to talk about is the fact that plants do die. After keeping houseplants for just over a year now, I can tell you right now that plants will die on you, and that is completely normal. And just because your plant dies doesn't mean that you're a bad plant parent, and it doesn't mean that you should stop taking care of plants. Maybe if you kill a ton of plants within a certain genus, you might want to move away from that genus just to help preserve that species a little bit better and not kill it. But it doesn't mean that you can't try again, because there are so many reasons why plants die. Sometimes it's not even your fault. Sometimes that plant will come home with a pest and you didn't notice, or it will come home with root rot, or so many different things could be wrong with that plant. So don't give yourself a hard time when your plant dies. Try to research and see what may have caused the death of your plant and try to change that next time. That's all that you can do. But plants do die, and I want you guys to know that I've killed plants. I'm sure you've killed plants. It is totally normal. And if you're killing all of your plants, definitely educate yourself. Go watch some YouTube videos. I'll admit I'm not really the best channel for care tips, but there are so many amazing houseplant channels out there, and I'm sure that you will be able to find what you're looking for in order to stop killing plants. But again, don't feel bad. It is completely 100% normal to kill houseplants. All right, guys, well, that is all from me. I really hope you guys enjoyed learning about the 5 things I wish I knew before I started collecting so many houseplants. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up down below, and also subscribe if you're not already. It really helps me out. We're getting really close to 7,000 subscribers. I'm very excited. Also, if you want to join as a member, you can click the join button or the link in my description if you don't see the join button. But with all of that being said, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!